Right, good afternoon everybody and welcome back to Thai Talk with Dan, the channel where we share about your Thailand stories. Guys, we're going to jump into part 4 of this subscriber's story where he's been ploughing his way through Thai women for the past few years and he's not been wearing protection. One of the Thai women that he had aerobics with has had a baby and it could be his. He doesn't know. And then the other one, the Japanese woman, luckily she wasn't pregnant. She did come back on her period, but this guy looks like he's going to get into some trouble here in Thailand. So strap yourselves in and let's jump in to part 4 of this guy's Thailand story. Now, in the springtime, I arranged to visit Mai in London. It was only to be for one day. I'd arrive by coach at lunchtime and return overnight. She was supposed to meet me at Victoria Coach Station, but when I got there, I couldn't find her. We'd already agreed that if we couldn't find each other at the coach station, I'd head to the address where she was staying. I spent hours waiting on the doorstep until eventually her landlord came home with his family. I explained the situation and they let me in briefly before suggesting I go to the local pub to wait. They said they'd send Mai there if she returned. Anyway, I had way too much to drink and then, with time running out, I went back to her house but she still hadn't returned, so I left to get my coach. When I got home, I called Mai at her house, even though it was 4 a.m. Calling when I was drunk and angry was a huge mistake. I was not interested in her excuses. So after that, the only communication I had with Mai came when I sent her some photographs of our time together in London and my home. She sent a polite thank you letter in reply, but I never wrote to her again. Now, the contract for my job as a government statistician was initially for 1 year. So should have finished in January 1997. In October 1996, my department head asked if I wanted to be kept on when my contract's finished. I replied no, because I wanted to return to my own home. The next day I was given a week's notice. The new contract was given to one of the others who had started the same time as me. So I booked a month's holiday in Thailand from early November. Once more, I spent most of my Thai holiday in Chiang Mai. The lady homes were closed during this time following another police crackdown, so my fun consisted of soapy massages and taking girls from Spotlight Bar. There was one very nice girl from Spotlight who I spent a lot of time with. The problem was she had a child. She wanted me to meet her child and include me when we did things together. But as I previously stated, I have never been interested in supporting other men's children. Therefore, I would not agree to do things the three of us together. Towards the end of my holiday, I took this girl to Pattaya, without her child of course, and after a few days she said she missed her child and wanted to go back to Chiang Mai. I bought her a ticket and saw her off at the coach station. I only had a few days left before flying back to the UK, and I had not had a great holiday and Thailand was starting to lose its magic for me. So in January 1997, I contacted Mike, my old team leader from the government service, to ask for a reference. I had some good fortune for once. Mike said he'd changed department and had a vacancy for a statistician. He also said that if I applied, I would be certain to get the job because I was better qualified than any of the other applicants. So I found myself suitably employed again less than 2 months after being back in the UK. This time the job was in a city much closer to my home city. Even this commute turned out too much for me, though, so every week I ended up staying in my work city from late Sunday to Friday evening. In 1997, it was the year of the Asian financial crash. I followed keenly as the exchange rate increased rapidly in my favour, thinking how much wealthier I would be the next time that I went to Thailand. Now, this job in the civil service was great and the people I worked with was friendly. It was only a year's contract, but once again, I was offered a new contract as my old contract neared its end. Biggest career mistake I ever made was not taking it. I worked the whole year without taking annual leave, so I was able to leave in early December while still completing my full year contract. My final week, I began to get cold feet about leaving. I was now 32 years old and starting to worry more about the future. I almost begged Mike to let me change my mind, but I elected not to. It was off to Thailand again in early December, this time for 2 months. As per usual, I headed straight to Chiang Mai. In Spotlight Bar, the first night, I was disappointed, if not exactly surprised, to find the girls had doubled their prices in response to the decline in the value of the baht. These 2 months were actually really good. I swapped Spotlight for a go-go bar named John's Place. In this new bar, the girls were far hotter, mostly students from Chiang Mai and Rajabhat universities. At midnight, the girls would strip completely and the stage could open up, revealing a bath where a girl would take a very erotic shower. Star of the show and best looking girl in the bar was Ning. I would spend after night chatting to her and buying her drinks. She would never leave the bar with me. However, despite my best efforts, most of the other girls likewise never went with customers. I only ever took one girl from John's Place and only one time. I asked her why she and some of the other girls made such a fuss over an old guy who was sat in a corner of John's Place every night. She told me he only ever wanted a HJ and would pay 2,000 baht for the privilege. Now, I also met a Swiss guy named Gino during the holiday. We would often meet up in the daytime and we stayed in touch for many years afterwards. In one conversation with him, I referred to myself as a sex tourist. He replied something like, "For a sex tourist, you sure don't get much sex. You're looking for a girlfriend, that's all." I thought about it and decided that he was correct. Now, Sakodern and other lady homes were open again at this time. One girl I took from there stayed with me for a week. After the first night, she said she wanted to stay with me for a week, keeping all the money I paid and not give a cut to Sakodern. If staff from Sakodern contacted me about her whereabouts, I would have to lie and say she had left after the first night and I did not know where she was. I had given my hotel name when I first took the girl and I wasn't sure if lying was dangerous, but I agreed. In the event, all I got was a telephone call and the lying was easy. And after 1 week, the girl had the money she needed to go on holiday with her friends and we said goodbye. Now, there was also a girl I went to see a few times at a soapy massage parlour called Pandora. She was very cute and a lot of fun. One evening, she said she wanted to leave Pandora and spend the evening with me. We asked her boss, but he said I would have to pay the same amount as if she had customers for the rest of her shift. I wouldn't do this because it would have been a few thousand bahts. I really ought to have asked if she ever got a day off when she could meet me, but I never did. Now, I was still going to see Prem and his family often. The family trips on a Sunday were still a thing. Prem's eldest daughter, Penshri, was 20 years old by now. It was clear Prem wanted me and Penshri to get together. If I was at his house late on an evening, he would send his youngest daughter to her bedroom, then go to bed with his wife, leaving me alone with Penshri in the living room. The thought of having a good Thai girlfriend was appealing to me. Penshri was good looking and clearly intelligent too. We agreed to write to each other often when I got back to the UK, and I said I'd return to see her as soon as I could. Now, the Japanese girl, Emmy, who I'd gone to Phuket with, had arranged to visit me in the UK in February 1998. If it wasn't for this fact, I would have stayed in Thailand an extra month to continue the blossoming relationship with Penshri. Weather in the UK in February is definitely not the best, and I didn't show Emmy around as much as I should have. Actually, I was not a great host to her at all. I don't know how much she knew about my relationship with Mai. Emmy did tell me that Mai was extremely angry with me when she got back to Japan, and I am not sure why. It seemed to me I should have been the one angry with her. Now, Emmy was staying in the UK for 2 weeks. The first week she spent with me, and the second week she was spending in London. She told me she didn't want me to go to London with her, so we did continue writing to each other for a long time. Now, it took me until June to get a new job. My checkered employment history was catching up with me. The job I landed was as a Delhi computer programmer in my home city, only a 20-minute cycle from where I lived. The salary was way much better than that of any job I had before. The company's holiday year ran as the calendar year, so the best I could do as regards to returning to Thailand was a fortnight's holiday in November. Given that my new job was well paid and in my home city, I was not about to leave it just so I could spend a few more weeks in Thailand. Right guys, we're going to jump on to chapter 2 now, and he's called this one, My Perfect Wife. What could possibly go wrong? When I arrived in Chiang Mai, first port of call was Pensri. Unfortunately, she had now started university and had a new girlfriend. Yes, she'd started batting for the other side. Zero prospect of our relationship continuing where it had left off at the start of February. What was I to do but try my luck in Sakodern once again? The first time, there was no lining up of the girls. Instead, all the girls were sat around tables in the garden. It was evening and already dark. It was awkward as a staff member walked around with me, shining the torch in the face of each girl. So I chose the prettiest girl, paid the money, and left with her. Now, the girl's name was Nong, and I got on well with her from the start. She was 20 years old and claimed that she didn't really work at Sakodern. Rather, she was studying tourism at Chiang Mai University. Nong had only been at Sakodern to visit a cousin who worked there, or so she said. But when I chose her, she didn't object because she liked me. Doubtful, but she ended up staying with me for the whole of my 2 weeks holiday. I didn't pay any more daily fee to Nong or Sakodern. Nor did Sakodern staff try contacting the hotel to find out where she was. For the 2 weeks, we just did normal things together. It was a true girlfriend experience, and it was the best experience I had in Thailand. Now, Nong shared a room in an apartment with her cousin, Apple, who didn't deny working at Sakodern. Once Apple asked if I wanted her too, and I declined politely, as to do otherwise would have certainly harmed my relationship with Nong, and sometimes Nong would leave in the daytime to attend her classes. On our third night together, she went to play basketball with her friends, and she came back blind drunk and quickly fell asleep on the bed. She slept that night with her eyes wide open, which was disconcerting because I could not rouse her, and at first I thought she was dead. When we went shopping... Now, when we went shopping together, Nong never asked for anything expensive, and at the end of the 2 weeks, I still had 12,000 baht, so I gave this to her when we said goodbye at Chiang Mai Airport. I promised to come back to see her as soon as I could, and this turned out to be only 6 weeks later. My boss was not very happy that I wanted to go on holiday again so soon, but when I told him it was because of a girl I'd met, he relented. Now, Nong never asked for any money when we were apart. It would not have been forthcoming in any case. I would not send money again to a Thai girl who could be getting up to anything whilst I was in England. Now, I don't know how she supported herself. Her parents died in a motorbike accident when she was only 10 years old, and Nong was herself on the motorbike at the time, but she survived. I thought the fact her parents were dead would spare me from ever having to support her family. Wrong. So, I was back in Chiang Mai with Nong for another 2 weeks in early February 1999. I had another good time, but towards the end of the 2 weeks, I grew afraid. I knew I would not be able to visit Thailand again for many months, and all I'd be thinking about was Nong. So I did something very stupid, even by my standards. I stopped being nice to her so that we would break up. My behaviour had the desired effect and she grew cold towards me. So on the last day, I bitterly rejected my stupidity. I bought her a large card and explained in it the reasons for my unfriendliness. In the card, I apologised for my behaviour, expressed my love for her, and asked her to forgive me. Now, at Chiang Mai Airport, I gave Nong a similar amount of cash as I had previously. When we parted, it wasn't with the affection of 2 months before. As I sat down on the plane, I panicked when it dawned on me I had forgot to give Nong the card, which was still in my rucksack. I was distraught. I knew that without reading the card, there was no chance Nong would stay in touch with me and I might never see her again. So she was about to leave her apartment in Chiang Mai and I had no other address for her. So I needed for her to contact me with her new details. Now, the next 6 months in the UK dragged. I wanted desperately to see Nong again, but I had to be sensible with my new job and knuckle down to work. I wrote to her old apartment and tried calling it, but to no avail. I booked a 2-week trip to Thailand, flying the August bank holiday weekend. I prayed that when I got there, the trail had not gone cold. Right guys, I'm going to leave it there and I'm going to jump on to part 5 and it will be uploaded soon. Let us know what you think about this guy's story down in the comments, and what do you think is going to happen next? It could be anyone's guess, but I don't think this guy is going to live happily ever after with the type of women he is choosing in Thailand. Take care guys and ciao for now. Bye bye.